the beginning, death sought the Crowfather. But what he found was something more. A secret once forgotten. A path to another world.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Darksiders 2. Carrying straight on from our last episode, we're going to go straight in and explore Tristone. There's a lovely scenic tunnel just here. Try and get a bit quicker. Beautiful. Much mystery. First, we're going to speak to this young man over here. This is where we're going to buy most of our basic move sets. But first, we need to complete a small side quest for him.
The Reaper. It's about time you came. The Makers are dying, and our realm. We few are all that remain.
A warrior's life is never easy, old one.
Aye, not easy, but simple. I always saw my end with blade in hand, a field of enemy dead before me.
And what glorious end awaits you hiding behind these gates?
You cannot fight corruption, nor can you harm it. You can only kill those it has claimed. Every blow I strike against corruption is a blow against my own people. Muse on that, Rider, before you mark me as a coward.
Okay, so we're just going to accept this side quest first.
I can end your troubles, Maker.
Well, you're welcome to try. This blade is more ancient than you, Rider, and taller to boot.
I will break it, and you, down to size.
Before we go in, this is a surprisingly difficult fight when you to start off with. It's got some very wide and hard-hitting attacks.
I'm surprised you've gotten that
Though, of course, they are extremely slow. He will change up his moveset halfway through. Ah, see? Look at that. One-shot kill.
No horseman is a match for me.
And again.
I'm surprised
See if we
you've
can use our
gotten that
ability
far.
here. No, not allowed to use Exhume here to bring up our corpses, so it's going to be a slightly more difficult fight without that. Ah, need to remember.
Had enough of old bears, have we?
Such wide hitting attacks.
I'm surprised you've gotten
It's
that
best
far.
just to keep to one direction of dodging.
Come on!
If he does do that, you do a backwards dodge, he's just obviously going to hit you. He's just trying to be patient. There we go. No, not quite got the timing there.
No horseman is a match. I'm surprised you've gotten that far. Come on! Show me what you've got.
Stun him just a little there, he's going to come straight back out. And there we go. Just a few more times. You don't need to get his health bar all the way to 0, but I do believe it's a little bit over half. What's going to attack there? Let's give him some time to take some time to recover from his attacks. And again. And there. It's okay, we've dialed him down. We've learned this character. It nearly had us there. Oh, here we go. He's going to do. There we go. It's those attacks that are the worst because he does 3 very quick strikes. You can't do a backwards dodge because they leave a row of destruction that will damage you.
I'm surprised you've gotten that far.
Timing. Much salty.
I'm surprised you've gotten that far.
Thought he was going to attack there. He's going to now. And again. I'm guessing you can see with the damage numbers, the highlighted larger numbers are critical hits. I'm guessing a few more of them than I'd expect actually. The base rating. Still not a hell of a lot, especially with our size. Here we go, he's going to do that large attack again. And again. And now. So close to... Yeah, there we go. And again. Oh, just... rather frustrating.
I'm surprised you've gotten this far. Let me show you how it's done. The battle is far from over.
Much concentration is needed. Let's get some space, because getting cornered in this game is just the worst thing.
You're fast on your feet, but you're a bit slow to get up.
Not fast enough, are we? Oh, that was close. It's going to go once more. There we go. Let's get a little bit of distance. Oh, that's close. Let's take a breather. Let him attack again. Just to keep him stunned.
Show me what you've
He's going
got.
to do that large one again. And now, very methodical.
I didn't think
There
you
we
could
go.
get any uglier.
Finally done it. Rather tough fight for beginners, but I do like to get it out of the way because of this free skill point it gives you.
Well, a battle won should never go unrewarded. Heh, you got lucky. Mayhaps I am too old to do this.
Age isn't everything.
So, you can fight an old warrior, but to earn your name, you'll have to do better than that. Baethir, Echidna, Argyll, these are what we makers call death. You kill them all, and mayhaps I will grant you are the true Reaper.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, we just pick these up as well. They're rather late into the game, especially Argyll.
If I'm to be your executioner, I would hear more of those that I'm to kill.
I will tell you what I know.
Where can I find Baethir?
Baethir and her kind once ranged across the Forge lands, hunting us like cattle as we made this world our home. One by one, we hunted down and slayed the fell beasts. But Baethir, she made herself a deep burrow, slithers out only to feed. I only know that she's a beast of fire and smoke, that she's made a lair beneath the earth.
What of Gorwood?
Once, Gorwood was a friend to my people.
Then why seek my aid?
Corruption has taken our forest, and Gorwood is a being of that old wood. One goes, so goes the other. Gorwood is filthy with corruption. It must be put down.
I know the name Echidna. Why do you seek her death?
An old debt, forged before your time.
Hold me in the shadow realm of Echidna. Why do you not travel there and kill her?
I have tried, only to find her realm in chaos. The Spider Lords have bathed her throne in blood, and Echidna is nowhere in sight. I spent years following her trail to the realm of the dead. Then, all this, I returned home to my people. Old debts are paid.
Tell me about Argyll.
The beast in need of killing. I had sight on the deed myself. When the current Lord of Bones rose up and defeated the mad king of the undead.
Then Argyll is no more.
My bones have always told me otherwise. The old king was. Should.
That's the worst thing. Experienced players will know that killing Argyll is possibly the worst boss fight in this entire game. Worse than any main story boss, because he has a few horrible attacks he hits so hard. One of them in particular just freezes you and does damage over time. It's disgusting. I cannot promise we'll be doing that in this Let's Play, simply because I recommend killing him on a New Game Plus. We have more moves and more abilities and feel fully upgraded. It is possible to fight him before you're doing New Game Plus, but it's just so frustrating. But anyway, let's have a look at some moves we can get. We're going to get this free Harvester Revenge. That is an attack while doing a forwards evade. But we're going to look for... Okay, so we don't quite have enough money for the ones I like in particular. This Harvester Slam is my preferred move to use. So let's just see exactly which one this Twin Cannon was. Okay, so that's just launching them into the air. It's not particularly useful. So we can get a forward evade for our secondary weapon. We can get a slam for our secondary weapon. You can see the two different icons, one with just a single hand and one with two fists raised up. This means that the moves are separated for different secondary weapons. So if we buy a forward evade attack for this secondary weapon, it will only affect our two-handed secondary weapon attacks, such as the hammers and the axes. Whereas this one is a forward evade for things like bucklers and gauntlets. So buying that right now when we don't have any of those is actually not good use of money. So you're going to go for the forward evade, because it gives you mobility and damage. It's just a description on Harvester's Revenge. Guessing. Okay, so we're going to put our points to here. Do we not spend them? That's a bit strange. Okay, so we're going to put all of them into the first skill line, because it shall increase the damage our ghouls do. And I'm going to double check that that is actually... There we go, that's probably why we couldn't use them earlier. They weren't... it didn't save that they were assigned to a button. It's rather frustrating, but it's okay. So I'm going to roll to get a bit more speed. Make sure that's still equipped now, because he's a bit scared that it's not saved certain things. We're going to speak to Alia.
Maker's beard. The rumours are true. A horseman in the Forge lands. The name's Alia, and that's my brother Valis. We are the keepers of this forge, though I reckon that means less now than once it did.
This is a Maker's Forge?
Nay, the Maker's Forge is lost to us, silenced by the hands of corruption. But in its depths we once crafted the dark towers of hell and the cities of heaven.
Now you make trinkets.
And you, one of the four, now seek the aid of the Makers? I guess we've all fallen from high places.
Can you see from the tree and the elder speaks of fire? What is it?
Aye, the fire of the mountain, the Stonefather's blood. It once flowed into our forge, as did the tears. Both imbued our craft with incredible power. The heart and the soul of stone. Corruption has taken them, and now our forge is silent.
Why does this concern me?
The way to the tree is lost, barred by corruption. You can no more leave this place than we. Restore our forge, and the tree can be reached.
I don't follow your reasoning.
We are makers, not warriors. But we are not without our weapons. Before the forge was lost, we crafted a mighty creature of soul and stone. A colossus to fight this corruption. But to awaken him requires a maker's key. And we need our forge to craft one. Will you help us?
Okay, we're going to ask exactly what the Cauldron is.
What is this cauldron?
A temple built in the shadow of Stonefather's Peak. There the fire of the mountain was harnessed and passed into our forge. Ride east of town, ride through the charred pass and towards the cindery peak of the Stonefather. There you will find the Cauldron.
And we are rather interested about her
I may
store.
have need of a blade.
Is your need greater than ours, horseman? I think not. We fight for the survival of our realm and our kin. Prove worthy, and mayhaps we can do business.
Okay, we're not going to follow the other dialogue option there. It doesn't actually lead anywhere at the moment. So later on that still will become an option for us to buy some new gear. But first we need to do these quests, which is absolutely fine. And we're going to go up here to have a look at the third maker, or the fourth I suppose, for our adventure. There's a very useful side quest here that we can do just by progressing through the main quests.
We've been awaiting your arrival, Horseman. Your shadow has long hovered over this realm.
Many know the Reaper, Old One, but I don't know you.
We are the builders of this world, but corruption seethes at its heart and destroys in days what we shaped over eons. Adar does his best to soothe our pain, but our souls yearn for only one comfort: death. We are without hope.
Feels bad, man.
Horseman, do you ever doubt your future?
No.
So one like yourself would set out to change a fate that displeases him. That is a long and dangerous path, even for death himself.
How is that your concern, Shaman?
Only that I am skilled at crafting talismans. If you gather the proper materials and return them to me, I'll make a potent talisman to aid you on your journey.
What do you require?
Stopper's bone, mordant dew, and carved in stone. It is not a simple charm.
Where can I find them?
Somewhere in the Forge Lands. I rarely leave Tristone, but that Pup Khan is always out exploring. He can tell you more, no doubt.
Okay, we're just going to skip through that and head on.
Horseman, you'll find naught that way but trouble.
Do what you must for your kin, Old One. Mine I ride to the Cauldron.
Well, if you fancy your corruption waist deep, that's as good a place as any. You know, there's a reason this gate is here. If you were a friend, you wouldn't let it pass. But then, who's friend to dare?
We're going to go straight through and not talk to him anymore. This may be a slightly longer video than I'd like to do, just because I want to get this first main quest done in one go after exploring Tristone here. But this should be the only one that's absolutely a longer video, simply because of that. And we had to get that quest done where we fought the Maker as well. But please let me know in the comments if you want longer episodes, if it does mean getting a whole main quest done, or if you'd like me to split them up so it's a bit more manageable. Rather scary pollution. No, at least we get to ride Despair here. Enjoy the openness. Lovely scenic route. Okay, so as we enter the Weeping Crag here, I'm just going to give you a side note. Gorwood, one of the bosses that Thane gave us a second ago, is actually hidden behind here. It is possible to go and fight him now, but I really do not recommend it because all of the bosses that he wants you to kill for that side quest do hit rather hard, and they are much later game bosses that you need to fight.
Greetings, horsemen, and welcome. I've been expecting you.
Vulgrim. What brings you crawling out of the shadows?
I wouldn't want to lose my most valuable customer. Not to what lurks at the edge of shadows. So here I am, to offer my wares.
Do you know that I don't? I'm not here by choice, demon.
I merely followed the trail of carnage. Your blades are as sharp as ever. Even still, I may be able to help you. I carry things others won't. Go on.
Yes, there's absolutely no need to look at his merchandise right now, because he uses a special type of currency known as boatman coins, which are a collectible you find throughout the world. And of course you haven't found any of them just yet.
Another time, demon.
Until then, perhaps you'll grant me a small indulgence. There are pages missing from the Book of the Dead. I believe many lie along your path. If you bring them to me, your reward will be substantial.
And so will be my damnation.
Okay, so this is the true reason for speaking to Volgrim here, is picking up these Book of the Dead pages, another collectible that is rather hard to complete throughout the game. I think speaking to him actually activates the spawns of the Book of the Dead pages. What these will do is you accumulate 10 to make a chapter, and they'll open up a special room or zone in each location throughout the game. And we're just going to go on despair here. And they'll give you certain pieces of armor, loads of equipment and money, and this is where you find very specific armor sets known as the Abyssal armor set. Okay, so we're just going to kill these. I'm going to show off the Exhume ability, which looks like that. 2 lovely ghouls to distract our enemy there, but we can focus on killing another. You'll notice that the ghouls don't actually do a hell of a lot of damage to this other enemy, but they do push it back quite far, which is very, very useful. It's going to pick up this chest as well. And carry on. It's a rather long walk to Cauldron, actually. Let's see. Just up here is your first boatman coin. I'll just see if I can highlight it for you there. So this is what we've spent to pay Volgrim for certain chests, which they work in the same way as loot boxes. You pay this particular currency, it gives you a random possessed item which you can upgrade to your liking. Okay, so we're going to get a talisman here to give us 5 arcane. Arcane is the most important resource we're going to get with this playthrough, because we're going down the Necromancer skill line. What Arcane does is this increases your damage done by arcane abilities, which down the Necromancer line is exactly what you use. Arcane abilities being things that summon or summon the Reaper form, such as when you do a timed evade later on, we'll unlock a special attack that automatically hits enemies if you time it right. And Arcane helps you a great deal against that. There's another boatman's coin in here. I'm going to ignore these enemies at the moment. I'm going to take you over here because there's another boatman coin and a chest around here. So here's a boatman coin, and if we delve a little deeper, find a not so secret cave. Okay, so finally got some green boots. They're going to increase our defense and gold found. Useful, but I'd have liked some more combat stats. We're going to pick up this chest over here. And just more gold. Just keeping an eye out for boatman coins and book pages. We go in here and pick up this chest as well. It's a small investment in time, but it's better to do it while it's on your way rather than go back. It's not particularly difficult either. A new secondary weapon, which is a little bit better. Got a lovely mace. I believe in here is one of these stones. We can't pick those up yet. So those are a side quests that run throughout the whole game. Later on, just before we get to our second dungeon. You need a certain piece of equipment to pick those up. Okay, it's going to force us off with despair here. And here we meet Khan, the pup, who's in a bit of a pickle. I don't know how he's hitting hard. The hammer just slaps.
Tears be true. A rider has come to the realm.
Not another one.
You're the Nephilim, the one they call Death. How did you get here?
Took a wrong turn. It appears I'm stranded here with the rest of you.
If you seek the Cauldron, you should know that it fell to corruption fair long ago. I can still feel the fire itself rumbling deep in the earth.
I'll take my chances.
Okay, so this first dialogue option is continuing what we picked up from our shaman earlier.
The shaman has offered me a talisman if I bring her the materials.
You'd be wise to accept then. Her craft is mighty powerful.
Where do I find Stalker's bone?
You'll find stalkers prowling the Cauldron. Should be simple work if your name is any indication.
Not sure how I feel about being stalked.
Say, if you're headed in there, you mind doing something for me?
Yes, I mind. Aren't I doing enough already?
Perhaps. Though it seems to me you're doing right enough for yourself. Our benefit being a fortunate side effect. Well, if it ain't much trouble, I left an old metal platter in there, with the image of 2 hammers scribed in the center. Not much to look at, but it was my journeyman piece. Last thing I ever forged.
Dish? You want me to bring you a dish?
Yes, well, it has sentimental value. If you find it, I'll make it worth your while.
How much did that new platter set you back? An hour? Getting towards an hour. This episode is taking ages. I do apologise. But we have work to do. Death stops for no man. Every sense of the way. Okay. Much puzzle. Okay, so the most annoying thing about Darksiders is that you have to do a whole dungeon just to do what's basically in front of you when you enter the dungeon. So we're going to take quite a long time just to open this thing up. We're going to end up just up there, and that's where we finish the quest. It takes so long, many puzzles just to get up some stairs. It's about the friends we make along the way, as they say. Do we have any covers? I don't think so. Okay, so we've got to destroy this corruption here to get to another chest. Now we need some bits up. Press right stick and throw it on here to open the door. Just spawn in another ball of corruption there. Okay, just use these like bombs. Automatically target that. Kaboom to you, sir. Oh, excellent. Look at that. A hammer of shock damage. Tasty with some critical rating as well. We're going to equip that straight away. And just pick up our Wrath potion then. you. Smack. Ow. Oh, look at that. So one downside of going towards a Necromancer skill line is that we're going to be heavily relying on health potions if we make mistakes. I prefer to be rather conservative with them, but it's okay. In these early stages of the game here, it's okay to use. So having said that, I'm going to pop one now. Pick up. There was a way around. We'll pick up that boatman coin later because we have to come through here on the way out. There's points like this where the Prince of Persia and Zelda inspired aspects really shine. You see it's basically just a blatant rip-off, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a good design. Okay, so we've got to throw this on the switch over there. Target. She'll open the door. Imagine that. Surprise, surprise. The cinematic focus on enemy, it must be really powerful. Doubt. It's just a ranged version of these two other constructs. Nothing to worry about. Pick up that gold. Rather fancy chest here to give us a map of the dungeon. But it's okay, we know where we're going. Cannot get lost in this one. So this lovely chappie is a stalker. We shall get the stalker's bone for our side quest. Let's execute this guy to get rid of him. Roll up some ghoulies. I was hoping really to get an execution on him. They're really fun animations for the stalkers. But no matter. Okay, we've got Vagabond Raps with a bit of strength. Strength isn't necessarily useful for us going down the Necromancer line, but we'll take it for now. It's better slides are always nice. Strength is the opposite to Arcane, where it increases your physical damage rather than Arcane. So any standard attacks we hit, it will increase the damage to those. And a skeleton key, so we can get through the next stage of the puzzle. I'm just going to hop over here. And collect the boatman coin. Here comes the choo-choo train. Mystic Ball time. Goes into the slot over here. Rather basic puzzle. Again, just to teach you mechanics. Get open these pots, see if there's any gold in here. Okay, so here's a jump over here, just collect the boatman coin. Does mean you have to fall straight back down again. But you do need quite a lot of boatman coins for any worthwhile gear, because you can buy them according to rank. Green, blue, purple and so on. I believe that's everything. It is indeed. So let's carry on. I'm not guessing that weird bug again where it didn't like us going on the wall there. It was rather frustrating. Oh, imagine doing dishes to that view. Those are just some basic wraps though, we don't need those. What we have equipped is certainly better. Okay, so that style of crate always gives you a little bit more gold and an enchanted item such as this. I'm just going to pick this up and double check exactly what the benefits are for it. We go over to our wraps. So current wraps are just green and a little bit of defense and strength, not overly useful. This one gives us the same strength, more defense and more experience, so certainly a straight up upgrade. So we're going to equip them. You don't want to necessarily equip items that have straight up upgrades on paper. You want to double check exactly how that compares to what you have equipped now. If it's giving you different stats to what you have equipped, then it will be a certain upgrade because you might not have any of that stats equipped on you or boosted. So if we're going for arcane and don't have any strength equipped, then it will say you're having more strength, for example, which is rather obvious. Do not have any strength equipped. I'm going to ignore those and fight them in a minute, because I need to go through here to get a key. And pick up some ghouls to help out a bit. They're rather expensive wrath-wise, but with this evade attack, sides, it's the best wrath generation method in the game, because it hits so much. So what we're going to do first is release this ball. We've got 2 slots to open that gate over there that we need, using both the balls found. I'm just going to get rid of this corruption as well. Let's give us more room. There is a hidden achievement, by the way. I don't know how many people are aware of it, but one achievement is to destroy all of that yellow corruption in every room throughout the game. It's one of the few achievements I've not got, simply because there's just no need to if you want to finish the story. It's a rather tedious one to go through. Okay, so just look at that. That is our first Book of the Dead page to come across. Not doing anything by itself, but we need 9 more to unlock a special route. We're also here. See, that goes halfway down. So this is how we learn that you can release these balls or eject them from those slots. Now you can do that simply by throwing some of this on here. Okay, there's the tutorial for it. Very easy stuff. And the second slot's just over here. Just spin him. Lovely stuff. Okay, so let's look around here, because there are some crates for a boatman coin. Okay. Now, because the platforming here is a little bit janky, this isn't the smoothest event. This is slightly timed, so we need to get across that cauldron while it's sinking.
Of the essence.
Death kindly hints to there. The annoying thing is we need to do it twice if we're going to get through that corruption. So once we've climbed up, there is a ball of corruption. Oh, press the wrong button. Let's not do that. Do not drop into lava. This is literally the floor. Okay, so that went smoother than it sometimes does. Okay, so what we need to do is take this. We're going to throw it down here. Oh dear. The animation pushed us off. Thank you, game. Thus it spawned us, just where we wanted to be anyway. And we did get something worthwhile, some piercing scythes. Piercing is a stat that increases your, well, funnily enough, your armor piercing damage. We're not going to fight any armoured enemies just yet. I believe there is one later on. You can tell an armoured enemy just because it's large. So that stalker earlier was armoured, so we weren't doing quite so much damage as we could have done to it. Very basic mechanic. Any large, oversized enemy is armoured. Just got to take your time with some of this platforming. So if you rush it, controls are a little bit sensitive. Or rather, it's the fact that they're unreactive. It can get rather annoying if you're in a rush. Okay, back up here again. There's a switch over there to bring it all the way up. And to the left in the back there you can see Khan's platter that we need to pick up. I believe this is a definitive game or edition quest, because on release you can see they've modelled these pedestals in, which are clearly quest item pickups, but you can't pick up the quests to generate these items until definitive edition. It's a very strange design choice. Well, hello there. So, Garn here is a lovely armoured enemy, but I don't really want to hit him with our size too much, because, oh dear, that's a rather hard hitting attack. This is going to explode then. Here we go. This is, I wouldn't necessarily call it a proper boss fight, it's more of a semi-boss fight, because you do find many more enemies of Garn's type later on in the game. The only real difference is he'll hit just a bit harder, and he'll have that exploding attack, which the other types do not get in this game. A strange decision for a first boss. Could have given it something else, but as a new player, you don't know any different, I suppose. There we go, some Dark Avenger. This weapon once belonged to the human warrior known as Draven. During countless duels, the weapon absorbed Draven's own rage and thirst for revenge against those who wronged him. The Dark Avenger is infamous for possessing a furious lust for blood and carnage. Not necessarily interested in picking that up. It's not the best secondary weapon, but I can show this off for you. I'm just going to equip it. We need to be level 5 to pick this up. But the special effect of that is the fact that it knocks people back. Each of these special secondary weapons and primary weapons as you go further into the game and show off like that will have a special effect that no other type of weapon has. It gives us a little bit more uniqueness to it. Some of them are more useful than others. Get as much gold as we can then. Okay, so this is where I was speaking about earlier, the end of the quest. We just need to go through here. The lever. And there you have it. The fires are restored. So we're just going to go through here. I believe there's a Book of the Dead page hidden. There we go. And there's a chest in here. And some boots that aren't necessarily better than what we have. Okay, so there's a boatman coin just here, so we're going to jump straight down rather than take the stairs. It's quicker anyway. Excellent, and take this chest. We'll weigh up those grooves later. Okay, so that is the entire cauldron done. I'm going to leave it there for now, simply because the video has taken quite a while. So next time you join us, we'll have fast travelled to Tristone to turn in the quest. But that is for another day. In the meantime, I've been the Edified Gamer, and I'll see you next time. May all your nights and your days be auspicious. Goodbye.